All right, so the first Nintendo Direct of 2024 Partner Showcase just wrapped up. Obviously, there was a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation leading into this. We talked about it on the channel, but how many of these things ended up coming to fruition? Was this a good event for Nintendo Switch owners? Because, I mean, let's be real, there's a lot of mystery, especially with first-party games, for Nintendo Switch owners in 2024. Well, we're going to talk about some of the highlights, the lowlights of this event. I actually meant to catch it live, but I fell back asleep after my alarm went off, but hey, thank God for 2x speed on YouTube. But let's hop straight into this event and see what I liked and maybe what some concerns I have were. So Xbox games. There was lots of rumors about Xbox games showing up at this Nintendo Direct presentation. Did Nintendo actually delay this event because of the fact that there was going to be Xbox games at it? We ended up getting 2 Xbox games, but no Hi-Fi Rush, which I thought was a little bit interesting. Grounded and Pentiment are coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, Pentiment, fine game, I'm sure. There's people that really like it, not my style of game. Grounded, of course, is a games as a service game, so, you know, that's something that probably should be on other platforms. I don't think it's necessarily the sign of the end of times for Xbox. I remember checking out Grounded when it like first came out on the Xbox One. Wasn't really my style of game, but who knows? Maybe it'll find a new audience on the Switch. Grounded comes out a bit later in April, so, you know, kind of interesting to see. We're starting to see this Xbox putting their games onto other platforms thing, I guess, you know, spurring on a little bit more, even though it's been happening with games like Ori and stuff like that. But hey, you know, that's pretty neat. Pocket Card Jockey Ride On is coming to Nintendo Switch. That good old Game Freak representation. Everyone was excited about that. I don't know, people seem to like Pocket Junkie. Once again, not a game for RGT, but hey, that's kind of interesting, I guess. Nintendo Switch Online gets a big Rare update, and that'll actually be available later today. We've got Killer Instinct, Snake Rattle and Roll, Blast Cores. Within this stuff, Battletoads and Battle Maniacs as well. A pretty cool little update, if only for the fact that MVG told me that this would never happen and that, you know, more Rare games weren't coming to Nintendo Switch Online, and now I can put my nose up in the air at him. Pretty cool stuff. A lot of people are pissed off because Mother 3 was released in Japan on Nintendo Switch Online, and obviously, you know, that's a game that a lot of people have wanted here, so, you know, what are you gonna do, though? What are you gonna do? Are you looking for remakes and remasters and re-stuff? Well, hey, we got Monster Hunter Stories, Disney Epic Mickey Refurbished, the first game, Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection with online multiplayer, World of Goo 2. You know, that's just something that the industry is kind of doing right now. They're taking these older games and just kind of repurposing them for a modern age. You know, it's because of these things like these high budgets and stuff like that. You know, maybe your game doesn't hit the mark when you initially released it, so you want to re-release it. Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance as well. Like, there was a bunch of stuff here that felt familiar because you had seen it before. Now, granted, it's got a new layer of paint, it's got a new little shine to it and stuff like that, but like I said, man, that's just the way the industry is kind of moving towards, for better or worse. I guess it just kind of depends on if you have nostalgia for some of these games or not. It is nice to see something like Epic Mickey becoming a thing again, because I liked that game when I originally played it back, God, a long time ago. Penny's Big Breakaway. Yes, Penny is coming out today for the Nintendo Switch. We had talked about that. I had talked about in my predictions video that I said, hey, I think that game is stealth dropping today. And lo and behold, it is stealth dropping today. So was it really a stealth drop if RGT kind of let you know in advance that this is something that was going to happen? you know, kind of lead that up to your interpretation with things. There was some other stuff there, you know, some interesting stuff, some stuff that didn't really hit with me. A lot of sort of Japanese style games with this, which, I mean, it's Nintendo. You kind of expect that with these presentations. And to wrap things up, or, you know, you gotta end on a banger. We started out with Grounded, which, you know, not necessarily a banger of a game, but something that at least has, you know, relevance. It has a bit of an impact when you are talking about an Xbox game. Well, what about the ending game? What about the closing title? Well, you gotta end with Endless Ocean. Yes. And then look, dude, like, I am a fan of Endless Ocean. Okay, like, I think Endless Ocean is cool. You know, it was a fun sort of unique experience. But you know, Endless Ocean Luminous was the final game. This is coming out in the month of May 2nd. It looks pretty decent. I guess the big draw to this version of the game, of course, you're going underwater, exploring, taking pictures, you know, learning about stuff. It's okay. But you could play with up to 30 people online in this version of the game. So that's kind of interesting, but I'm sure that, you know, it'll use the godforsaken voice app, or there won't be any sort of voice chat in the game. Like, it's fine. Like, I like Endless Ocean. Like, I actually do. There's, you know, mythical creatures in there and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool too. But to kind of end on that, you know, it's such a peaceful, casual game. It's like, what are we doing? You know, like, you're supposed to end on something that's kind of hype, and I feel like they kind of missed the mark with that a little bit. And kind of, you know, when you look at this presentation overall, like, it was fine. You know, it wasn't spectacular or anything like that. You know, I feel like it was solid, but a little bit underwhelming, especially because, you know, it's the first direct of 2024. When you look at previous partner showcases, you had stuff like Monster Hunter Rise and stuff like that, you know, these bigger titles. And when you look through the list of titles that were at this event, like, there's nothing like really groundbreaking, you know, I guess pun intended with Grounded. No, but there's really nothing super groundbreaking with this. There's nothing shocking. I guess you could say maybe the Switch Online rare expansion pack stuff. That's a little bit shocking, you know. That actually is pretty cool. But like, everything else was kind of stuff that we had heard about before, or remakes and remasters. There's no big, like, exclusive title or a big new third-party title that was announced at this presentation. And I think for a lot of people, that's going to kind of, you know, weigh this presentation down, because I think if you have stuff like this, like, if you take stuff like Grounded and Pentiment and the Switch Online rare expansion pack and Endless Ocean, and I guess Pocket Junkie, because people like that, the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection with all the online stuff, I think if you take some of these games and put them alongside of first-party Nintendo announcements as well, you got a hell of a showcase. Like, that's a pretty solid showcase. And not to say that this one wasn't solid, but it'll probably be a little bit underwhelming for people. And the Mother 3 thing is that, man, God almighty, people are going to be losing their minds over that if they haven't already. But those are just my thoughts on this Nintendo Direct presentation. What did you see from this? What did you like from it? What were the games that stood out in your mind? Or what were some of the drawbacks from this presentation? Like I said, you know, decent, but, you know, nothing really crazy. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.